YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Max, back again. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why being in shape is a cheat code for attracting women. But not just any woman. It's a cheat code for attracting those feminine, high-quality women that you want. Because let's not kid ourselves. Every man wants a woman that's feminine. Every man wants a woman that's high quality. Every man wants a woman that's attractive. And all of those things are what you're going to get out of being in shape. Because at the end of the day, those type of women, they want a man who they can respect. They want a man that they're attracted to. And that's what getting in shape will get you. Because starting off with number one, right? Being in shape is not just about how good you look. It's not just about your abs. It's not just about your shoulders popping out of your shirt. It's not even about the way your clothes fit you. Like, all of those things are benefits, and all of those things are going to raise her attraction, and I'm going to get into that in this video. But the most important part about why it's actually a cheat code and why you're never really going to be able to see a woman's true feminine side that you would if you were in shape, if you're not in shape. Because let's be real, right? You can attract a woman that looks good even if you're not in shape, right? There's plenty of guys who have a dad bod, plenty of guys who are out of shape with good-looking, relatively good-looking women, right? But those guys are not seeing that same version of that woman. That same woman, she's going to be a completely different type of woman to a guy who she respects more, to a guy who she's attracted to on a primal level even more. And I know this because I'm speaking from personal experience. I've been out of shape. I've been skinny fat, right? And even when I was skinny fat, I was still attracting girls. I was still attracting women who were years older than me, even though I was pretty young. But I wasn't able to actually really get the respect of these girls, really make them follow my program the way I wanted them to. And I never knew just how, for lack of better words, like how freaky a woman can get, and like just how attracted and obsessed a woman will be with you as when you're in shape. Like, it's a night and day difference. Yeah, you can attract some girls when you're out of shape, sure, but do you want her soul? Because for me, I want souls, right? I want souls. Like, one of my boys, he always had this saying that he would say, like, yeah, I don't want the girl, I want her soul. And that's the way I am too. If I'm with a girl, I want her to be obsessed with me, right? I want her to chase me. I want her to blow up my phone. I want her to always be thinking about me. I want, when it's time to get intimate with this woman, that she's going to give me all of her so I can give her all of me the way I want her to, the way I want to, right? But the only time I was able to experience this was once I got in shape, and here's why. Number one is going to be the respect factor. Women want a man that they can respect. You're over here, you're concerned about, oh, why doesn't my girl respect me? Oh, I tell her not to go out, she goes out anyway. Oh, I have certain boundaries in the relationship and she keeps breaking these boundaries. Oh, I tell her not to text these guys, she still texts these guys. Oh, she still takes hours to respond sometimes. Sometimes she doesn't pick up my calls. All of these things that may upset you in the relationship, and you try to enforce your boundaries upon her. But what you don't understand is that on a deep level, when you really look at it, she just doesn't respect you that much. That's why your words just don't hold as much weight, right? Because it's just like when you were a kid. When you were a kid and you wanted to stay out later than you should have, right? Your parents gave you a curfew. Maybe you stayed out with your friends. If your parents told you, oh, you gotta be home by 7 o'clock, but you stayed out, and they didn't really give you a punishment, or you just like didn't respect your parents because your parents, for whatever reason, right? As kids, we're dumb sometimes. We just don't respect our parents, right? Or if your parents try to give you some sort of financial advice and, you know, they're struggling financially themselves, it's like you are much less likely to actually listen to them because you don't respect their perspective, right? Now, obviously, as we grow older, we learn to, I hope, to respect our parents more. But in relationships, it's something very similar. If you don't look like you respect yourself, your woman will never be able to fully respect you. She may listen to you, right? She may follow your lead sometimes, but it's going to come up. There's going to be a lot more shit tests in the relationship. And the reason why she thinks that you don't respect yourself is because you don't show up for yourself. Because being in shape is one of the biggest signs that a man shows up for himself. Every single day, you do, whether you want to work out or you don't, you force yourself to get inside that gym, or you force yourself to go out on the run. When you come home, instead of getting the pizza, you force yourself to eat clean. Why? It's because you have self-love. You respect yourself. And that's one of the most attractive qualities, if not the most attractive quality. Because you could have all of the money. You could look very attractive even, right? You could have like a good genetic structure of your face. You could dress nice, right? You could have all the charisma in the world. But at the end of the day, if you don't respect yourself, there's always going to be holes within your character. And she's always going to feel like she can't respect you fully, right? If you talk to someone who's very overweight, right? And they try to tell you how to live your life, but you're in shape, you're just not going to listen to them, right? Because why would I listen to you? You don't even do the things that you preach, right? You don't even hold yourself to a high standard. Why should I allow you to hold me to a certain standard? You understand? And so you tell this woman indirectly that you value other things outside of yourself, and that's just not attractive. Even if you feel like, yo, you're doing everything right in the relationship, right? You're buying her gifts, you're taking her out on dates, you're always texting her, you're always calling her, you're staying loyal, all of these things, like you're doing everything the right way, you're being this good boyfriend, but you still put the relationships first instead of yourself. And that's where a lot of men get this wrong. You have to put yourself first. You have to, listen, if you're scheduled in for a workout, but your girl wants to go out, hit that fucking workout. Tell the girl, hey, baby, I can't go right now. I can't chill with you right now. I can't come over right now. We can't get that pizza. We can't watch that movie right now. But listen, after I'm done with this workout, after I do what I have to do, you got me, right? You got my undivided attention. But you may think that you're making her happy in the moment because you're sacrificing your gym time. You're sacrificing the time that you have to cook your meals and meal prep or whatever it is that you have to do to get in the shape that you want to be in. You may think that, oh, I'm being a better boyfriend. I'm showing up for my girlfriend. I'm spending more time with her. But at the end of the day, she subconsciously thinks, oh, he's putting me in front of himself, right? He's prioritizing me over himself. And on a deep level, it sounds twisted that you may think that, oh yeah, isn't that a good thing that I'm putting my girlfriend in priorities instead of myself? But it's not. Your priorities always come first, because she's not going to remember those moments that you showed up for her. She's going to remember the way you showed up for yourself. Okay? So that's why, that's one of the biggest things. Getting in shape will give you that respect from your woman. That's why it's a cheat code to attracting those feminine, high-quality women. Because feminine, high-quality women, let's be real, they're pretty rare. They're pretty rare, guys. Especially in this modern age, all of these women are like consumed, obsessed with social media. They're doing what their friends say. They're doing what they see celebrities doing. So when you do find that feminine woman, that woman who's more traditional, you think she doesn't want a man that she can respect? She'll take a man that she can respect over a man that's even attractive, right? That's just how they are. And if you've ever been with a real feminine woman, you know this, right? I'm speaking from experience, guys, because it's a night and day difference between those really feminine, high quality women and just like women who may look good, they may be attractive, maybe they have the body, but they don't have this type of personality that you vibe with. They don't have those type of qualities that you would really take this woman seriously in your life. And so if you want a woman that you can take seriously and be attracted to on a high level, you need to get in shape. And that brings me to my second point, which is attraction. If the woman you want is attractive, She wants a man who's in shape. She wants a man that she's attracted to. She wants a man that she can actually get wet for when it comes down time to it. When you're getting intimate, she doesn't want to feel like it's the Sahara Desert down there, right? And on a primal level, guys, women are attracted to guys with a lean body fat percentage, a V-taper physique, right? Studies have shown this. Time has shown this. This is just what's in our biological nature. Women are attracted to these qualities because they come off as more masculine, right? She's feminine. She wants a masculine man. She wants a man that exudes masculine qualities. When you show up for yourself and you respect yourself and you have the look, you have the shoulders, right? You have the cardio when it comes down to getting intimate. You don't just pass out after one round. You could keep going, keep going, keep going. That's what they want. And then listen, I don't care how innocent you think this woman is. Some of the most innocent women, at least the women I thought were innocent in my life, have been some of the biggest freaks when it came down to getting in the sheets, right? Innocent in the streets, freak in the sheets, right? I think that's how the saying goes, right? If not, correct me in the comments, but you get my point. Ideally, that's what you want, right? You want a woman that she carries herself like a woman, like a high quality, high value woman when you're out in public. But then when it comes down time to just you and her in that bedroom, she gives you everything you want and she can be her most feminine self with you, her most submissive self with you. Now, if that's not what you want, then, maybe this video is not for you. But if you're watching this video and if you're on my channel and if you follow me, right, then most likely that's what you want out of a woman, right? You want a woman that's submissive in bed and outside, that's going to follow your program. But if she's not attracted to you on a primal level, it's going to be very hard for that to happen, right? You're going to be in bed with her. You're not going to be able to get up, right? Because you've been eating bad, right? Your arteries are all clogged up from all that McDonald's that you've been having. And it's crazy because a lot of guys that I speak to, a lot of guys that I work with, they run their own business. They're successful guys. They're successful in their career, right? They're always working. So they show up in the financial part of their life and they're a leader when it comes down to like the finances, which is fantastic, which is what you should be doing as a man, right? One of your biggest, most attractive qualities is that you can provide. But if you can't even show up for yourself when it comes down time to putting the food inside in your body and showing that self-love for yourself, the money doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter if on your work breaks, you're getting the fast food. The money doesn't matter if you can't even run a mile, right, without like passing out. The money doesn't matter if when you get intimate with her, you're tapping out before she is, right? If you can't even please your woman. The money doesn't make her wet, guys. The money doesn't make her wet. When you're in bed with her, she's not thinking about how much money you have. She's thinking about the way you can make her feel. She's thinking about the way your body makes her feel. What you do to her on a physical and psychological level, right? Physical dominance comes from the physique and building that V-taper physique, having those nice arms, having those nice shoulders, that chest, right? Don't skip legs because you need that hip power, right? And also comes from psychological dominance. That psychological dominance, when you really get inside of her head, if you guys ever been with a woman, like, and you had this conversation with a woman, they will tell you that what they really find like very sexy to them is when a man can control her mind. He can control her mind. When you get inside her mind, everything else follows. Her body follows, right? She's like a fucking waterfall, for lack of better terms. But psychological dominance comes from being truly confident within yourself. And so when you're in that gym, you're showing up for yourself every single day. You're hitting your non-negotiables. You don't feel like going to the gym, you go anyway. You don't feel like waking up early, you go anyway, right? You feel like eating out. You feel like breaking your fast with some fast food, but instead you go home and you eat that clean meal. Instead, you cook up your 8 eggs. That's what builds true inner confidence within yourself, because you know that you are showing up as your best self each and every single day. You're not breaking promises to yourself. And when you can have that true confidence within yourself, that's when you can psychologically dominate her. You can't psychologically dominate her. You can't get inside of her mind if you're not truly comfortable in your skin. Like, I've spoken to a lot of my clients. Like I said, they're doing good in their careers. They show up when it comes down to that part. But every other area of their life, when it comes down to their physique, their health, it's lacking. It's lacking. And so that translates to when they finally do get with a woman, they're not able to be that confident leader that they are at work, right? They can manage a whole team of 12 people, right? They can dominate the meeting at work, but they can't even dominate and make their girl submit because they don't really show up for themselves outside of work. And if you guys have any questions about this, about how I help my clients or anything that I spoke about in this video so far up to this point, just shoot me a message on Instagram. I answer all of my DMs. The link is in the description. But yeah, I'll get back to you. You can ask me any questions that you have about this. If any of this isn't making sense to you, or you want to know how you can apply this into your own life, right? But you must be in great shape, guys. You must be in great shape. It's literally a cheat code. Which brings me down to my last point, which is how you actually look. How you actually look when you're out in public. Because here's the thing. You could walk around in public. You could be making $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a year. Women can't see your net worth on your forehead. And even then, even if you were able to walk around with your net worth on your forehead, right? You're making $500,000 a year. Women can see that. Will women be attracted to you? 1000%. But do you think they're going to be attracted to you for the right reasons? That's the question. No, they're not. They're going to be attracted to you because of your money, because of your resources. That's why there's so many guys who make a lot of money, but because they weren't able to see a woman's like true self, her primal self, her most genuine self, they weren't able to get that genuine desire from a woman. Now, as soon as a woman gives them any sort of attention, as soon as they get some sort of attraction from a really good looking woman, they amplify it, right? They amplify it because their entire life, before they had the money and the resources, before they had that job, before they had that business, they weren't able to attract this sort of caliber of woman. And so this is what ends up happening, right? You get with this woman and she manipulates you. Because you have a lack of experience, she manipulates you, and guess what happens? You end up marrying this girl. She divorces you for half of your stuff, right? Or she just controls you throughout the entire relationship, and you end up following her lead, all because you thought that your money will save you. You thought that your money is going to make you into the type of man that women actually respect and they're actually drawn to on a physical primal level, which is just not true. This is not true. There's no excuse to be broke as a man. There's no excuse to not be showing up financially for your woman, for your family, for yourself as a man. But it all starts with showing up for yourself first, because at the end of the day, even if you are successful with business, even if you're hitting like milestones in your business, you're bound to hit a plateau. Your net worth won't exceed your level of personal development. And it really stuck with me because I've noticed that, yeah, as I keep showing up for myself, as I keep putting myself in uncomfortable situations, I keep making more money. I keep having more opportunities presented to me. I'm fitting my shirts nice. I can wear that polo and it's hugging my sleeves. I look good. People respect me more. People just want to bring me opportunities. And you won't be able to experience that if you're out of shape. If you're out of shape. It's getting in shape easy. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's simple when you have the structure. It's simple when you have the right program. It's simple when you have someone holding you accountable. It's not easy because you still have to put in the work. You still have to put in those reps, right? You can have a trainer, you can have a coach, but he can't do the reps for you. He can't cook your meals for you, right? You still have to show up for yourself in that regard. But that's the beautiful part about it, because all of that builds confidence on the back end. All of that is going to make you more attractive to these women. And even just for a second, like, fuck the woman, guys. It's going to make you more confident within yourself. You're going to go after more opportunities in life that you wouldn't have went after if you are out of shape. It's going to make you a better man. Because if your goal is to have a family, if your goal is to have kids, how are you going to show up for your family? You can't even show up for yourself. You can't even lead yourself. You can't even force yourself to do those hard things that you really don't want to do. How are you going to do that? That's a question I had to ask myself a few years ago, right? I was watching my family and I really wanted to be there for them, but I realized, hey, how can I be there for my family? I'm not even there for myself. When it comes down time to hit that workout I don't want to hit, I skip it. Or maybe I hit the workout, but then I basically delay all of the progress. I kill all the progress just by what I eat inside of the kitchen. All of these things need to be locked in, guys. They need to be locked in. And if you're confused, you're like, okay, I understand how getting in shape is going to make me more attractive to women and make me the most confident, capable version of myself, but you just don't know how to really take your physique to the next level. If you need a structured plan, if you need guidance, if you need accountability, and you want my personal help with this is exactly what I help my clients with. I help them get into the best shape of their life, and I help them leverage that physique and that newfound confidence that they made within themselves to elevate their dating life, to get those feminine, high-quality women that every man desires. If this sounds like something that you'd be interested in, and you want my personal help with this, you want one-on-one coaching from me, there's going to be a link in the description below, right? You can book a one-on-one call with me. I'm just going to get to know a little bit more about your situation, discuss how the program works, and how we can create a roadmap for you so you can get into the best shape of your life, so that you can start attracting those women that you want, so you can start dominating every single aspect of life and not just your career. If this is something that interests you, the link is in the description. You can book a call with me to get to know your situation. And if it makes sense for us to work together, I don't work with just anybody. I work with guys who are ambitious. I work with guys who already built something for themselves, but they just want to take their life to the next level through their physique and through their dating life, through their marketing, their presentation. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, once again, the link is in the description, guys. But I hope this video was valuable, and I know it was. So if you found this video valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you boys very soon. Stay dangerous.